Hey, Steelers Nation! We've got some juicy news to dig into as we head into Week 10. Pittsburgh has been one of the most surprising teams this season, with Mike Tomlin leading us to a 6-2 record, and a showdown with the Washington Commanders is right around the corner. But today, we're talking about a potential game-changer for our offense, a move that could elevate this team's future, the possibility of adding star receiver T. Higgins to the Steelers roster in 2025. Before we dive in, please hit that like button if you're excited to see the Steelers aiming for the top, and don't forget to subscribe if you want all the latest updates. Thanks for joining me today, and now, let's jump right in. The Steelers' success this season has been nothing short of impressive. Our offense has come alive under first-year offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, and with Russell Wilson stepping in as starting quarterback in Week 7, the Steelers have found new life in the passing game. Wilson's leadership has boosted the team, with him finding rhythm with young star George Pickens, who has been a beast out on the field. And then there's Mike Williams, acquired right at the trade deadline. He's on an expiring contract, but the hope is that he can provide a spark to the Steelers' receiving core. Yet, as solid as Pickens and Williams have been, there's still something missing. Williams' contract is up soon, and other than Pickens, the Steelers lack a true, long-term playmaker at the receiver position. So, who's caught Pittsburgh's eye? None other than T. Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's break down why this move makes sense and what it would mean for the Steelers. T. Higgins, just 25 years old and a former second-round pick, could be an exciting addition to the Steelers' offense. Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox recently hinted that the Steelers should consider pursuing Higgins in 2025 free agency, describing him as a perfect match opposite George Pickens. Higgins' blend of size, speed, and athleticism would give Pittsburgh a dynamic duo with Pickens, adding depth and versatility to the Steelers' receiving core. Even with Ja'Marr Chase dominating as the Bengals' WR1, Higgins has made a name for himself, posting back-to-back seasons with over 70 catches and 1,000 receiving yards in 2021 and 2022. Last year, despite injuries that cost him 5 games, he still managed an impressive 42 catches for 656 yards and 5 touchdowns. This season, he's missed time with a quad injury but remains productive, totaling 29 receptions for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 5 games. In Higgins, we get a proven red zone threat, a guy who can stretch the field and break off big plays when we need them most. Injuries may be a concern, but when he's healthy, he's a player who makes a real difference. And the Steelers have the cap space, over $56 million, according to Spotrac, to potentially make this happen. General Manager Omar Khan has room to maneuver, and with Tomlin at the helm, a Pickens-Higgins pairing could be Pittsburgh's most exciting WR duo since the days of Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. Right now, Steelers fans know that wide receiver depth is crucial for this team to keep pace with other AFC North powerhouses. Mike Williams has been a solid addition, but he's new to the team and still getting up to speed with the playbook. According to Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, it's unlikely that Williams will play much, if at all, against the Commanders. His snap count, if he does suit up, will probably be limited to 12 to 15 snaps, so don't expect him to be a major factor just yet. While we wait for Williams to get fully integrated, the Steelers are leaning on Calvin Austin and Van Jefferson to support Pickens in the passing game. Pickens has been our go-to guy, and he's shown flashes of brilliance, but defenses will key in on him if we don't get another reliable playmaker on the field. That's where someone like T. Higgins could make all the difference next season. Let's not forget the other big trade deadline addition, edge rusher Preston Smith. This move came as a bit of a surprise, as the Steelers weren't rumored to be interested in an edge rusher. However, with Nick Herbig out this week, adding Smith makes a lot more sense. Fittipaldo is confident Smith will play against the Commanders due to Herbig's absence, and this addition could be a big help for our defense. Smith's presence on the edge should help keep our pass rush fresh, and it gives the Steelers another experienced body to plug into the defense. Though the focus has been on offense, this move strengthens our defense, which has been a cornerstone of Pittsburgh's success. And in the short term, expect the team to rely on its depth, with veterans like Cam Hayward and TJ Watt leading the way, while Smith gets up to speed in Pittsburgh's defensive schemes. Imagine if the Steelers' offense added a healthy T. Higgins next season to complement Pickens. The combination of two young, talented wide receivers with a quarterback like Russell Wilson under center could elevate Pittsburgh's offense to one of the most dynamic in the league. And with a bolstered defense, thanks to mid-season additions like Preston Smith, the Steelers could go from being a surprise contender to a legitimate Super Bowl threat. For this season, the Steelers are well positioned in the AFC North, but next season could be even more exciting with the right additions. Higgins would provide versatility, allowing the Steelers to stretch the field and attack defenses in new ways. Plus, he'd make a perfect long-term WR2 opposite Pickens, giving Pittsburgh the kind of offensive firepower to match up against the best teams in the league. There are, of course, some risks involved in going after Higgins. Injury history is one of the concerns. His quad injury this season has sidelined him for a few games, and the Steelers will need to weigh his health when deciding whether to make a long-term investment. That said, Higgins' potential upside is undeniable, and pairing him with Pickens could transform Pittsburgh's offense. The Steelers' front office will also need to consider the financial implications. With over $56 million in cap space, there's room to make moves, but Pittsburgh has traditionally been cautious with big contracts. Omar Khan has shown he's willing to be aggressive, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles this situation. Adding Higgins would be a big commitment, but it could be exactly what Pittsburgh needs to solidify its status as a top-tier AFC team. This season, Pittsburgh has had one of the most talked-about quarterback situations in the NFL. Coming into 2024, the Steelers added two high-profile QBs in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, which immediately sparked debates on who would be the starting quarterback. Russell was the initial choice, but a calf injury in training camp threw a wrench into that plan, allowing Fields to lead the team at the start of the season. Fields led the Steelers to a solid 4-2 record, showing his potential as a starter. But once Wilson recovered, the veteran reclaimed his position. With Wilson back under center, the Steelers' offense has looked sharper, but that doesn't mean Fields has been sidelined. On the contrary, Fields has taken on a highly valuable role that goes beyond game day action. He's serving as the team's scout team quarterback. When it comes to preparing for a game, the scout team's role is critical. They simulate the opposing offense to give the defense a chance to practice against the exact type of plays and players they'll face on game day. Fields has been stepping up to the plate here, and his athleticism and quarterback instincts have made him the perfect player for the job. He's not just any backup quarterback, he's the scout team's secret weapon. In a recent interview with Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, cornerback Dante Jackson highlighted Fields' impact. It helps a lot. Not every team gets to simulate that type of style at practice. You can't take it for granted when you have a guy like that. Justin's been outstanding. He's been the utmost professional from that standpoint. When the Steelers were prepping to face the Washington Commanders and their rookie phenom Jaden Daniels, Fields took on the role of Daniels in practice. Fields' ability to replicate a mobile quarterback is an advantage most teams lack. His instincts and skills allow the Steelers' defense to get a realistic look at what they'll face. For other teams, simulating a dual-threat quarterback often involves placing a wide receiver or other skill player in the QB role during practice. These are usually players who may have played quarterback in high school, but it's nowhere near the same as having a true NFL-level quarterback in that role. Fields, however, brings authentic QB instincts to the practice field. He can emulate a dual-threat player, providing Pittsburgh's defense with the most accurate look possible before they step onto the field. Fields has been particularly valuable against opponents with mobile quarterbacks, which is essential for the Steelers' upcoming schedule. In the second half of the season, they'll face some of the NFL's best, including Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, and, of course, division rival Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, twice. Fields gives Pittsburgh an edge in these matchups by allowing the defense to get comfortable with a fast-moving, unpredictable quarterback before they even reach game day. Let's be real, Justin Fields should be a starting quarterback in the NFL. His performance earlier this season, along with his skill set, has made that clear. Yet, despite not being the Steelers' starting quarterback, Fields has embraced his role. His professionalism and dedication to helping the team are commendable and will no doubt make him a high-profile free agent target once the season ends. Fields' dedication has earned him respect from both his teammates and fans. His role as the scout team quarterback is demanding, especially given Pittsburgh's challenging lineup of opponents. Fields' willingness to step up each week shows his team-first mentality, something every coach and GM values. It's also a testament to Mike Tomlin's leadership, as he's fostered a culture where every player knows their role is vital to the team's success. The Steelers are entering a tough stretch of the season, facing multiple dynamic quarterbacks and all 6 of their divisional matchups. With playoff aspirations in mind, every game counts. Having Fields in his current role could be the difference-maker in a few key matchups. With Fields simulating these high-powered offenses in practice, the Steelers' defense will be well prepared for any quarterback who can throw and scramble. The defense has already shown resilience this season, but the preparation they'll get from working against Fields each week could make them even sharper down the line. The Steelers know they have a shot at making the playoffs and potentially making a deep run, and Fields is giving them an extra edge. When you look at how these weeks of preparation stack up, Fields' influence is a game-changer. As we look toward 2025, it's hard not to wonder what Fields' future holds. The Steelers have something special with him as their backup, but given his skills, he'll likely have offers for starting roles across the league. His current role as a highly effective scout team quarterback could turn him into a hot commodity when free agency hits. For the Steelers, losing Fields would mean finding another backup who can offer what he does both on and off the field, a tall order given his unique abilities. But if this is his last season in Pittsburgh, it's clear he's leaving his mark in a meaningful way. So, Steelers Nation, what's your take on all this? Could T. Higgins be the final piece to our offensive puzzle? Are you excited about the potential of seeing him team up with Pickens? Or do you think the Steelers should take a different approach and build through the draft? This could be a turning point for Pittsburgh, and we want to hear what you think. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and let's get a discussion going. Also, make sure to smash that like button if you're excited about the Steelers' future and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps us bring this content to you week after week. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, here we go, Steelers.